And welcome to another edition of Hoops Hitting Gems podcast. I'm your host, David Jones. Got another great show coming up tonight, episode number 78. Man, thank you guys for staying rocking with us for 4 years now. Man, it's hard to believe. It's been 4 years since we had our first show. As you all know, this is an educational platform as well as a platform to introduce programs that people may not be familiar about. And tonight is no different. Exciting. I met this brother and, we just got to talking online and I said, hey man, you want to come on the show and talk about the program? And here we are, man. Coach Stephen Jerome from Stanton University out in Anaheim, California. For you people that don't know, it's a startup NAI program out in California. And I wanted to bring him on the show because for you young people that don't understand how brutal this portal is and how hard it is for these high school kids, opportunity is opportunity. And, Coach Jerome's going to be running a really good program out there in California. So I thought it was my duty to bring him on the show and, use my platform to introduce everybody to Stanton University. How you doing today, Coach?
Brother, I'm doing great, man. Thank you again for having me. It's an honor, it's a privilege. Thank you for allowing me to be able to grace your platform, with just this awesome, exciting, venture that we're going to take on at Stanton University.
Absolutely. So, the thing about Stanton University, this is new for me as well. So we're going to get into it, for the people that don't know about Stanton University. Tell us a little bit about Stanton University, and then we'll talk basketball.
All right. So let me kind of go to the history of Stanton. So Stanton was founded in 1996. At first, it was a culinary school, right? So, with it being a culinary school, athletics, I would say, in my guesstimation, was not in the forefront of things. But, it came into the future, and now this will be our first year having women's basketball. We were USCAA last year for the men's program. We were able to have men's basketball, soccer, golf, and tennis. Now we're doing the same thing on the women's side, and we're moving up to NAIA, right? So we're moving up to NAIA, and then 2027, 2028 will be a Division II institution located in Anaheim, California. A big, you could say, attention grabber for international students. And one of the main reasons is because we have the cheapest tuition in the state of California, right? So tuition at our university is only $7,500. As opposed to all these other major universities where, $7,500 as opposed to the other universities where tuition a year could be somewhere between $27,000 to $62,000 a year, right? We're completely different. We're big on international students, but also students in states, but they basically want to make an affordable university for international students, right? Especially students that want to come abroad and, live the American, dream and the American life. And now that they're introducing sports to it, now you get the opportunity to be a student athlete as well. And, it's just a great time right now. For those that know a lot about Anaheim, it's a tourist attraction with Disneyland being there and LA being about 30 minutes away, San Diego an hour and a half. The beach is like 10, 20 minutes away from you. City of Irvine, which is the job, one of the high job places in the state of California, is about 10, 20 minutes away. So, we're around a lot of great opportunity for people after graduation, and what they want to do, especially jump into the job or the career business that they want to choose from. So it's a great time, man. Really, really great time. So really excited about it. We're not blessed and fortunate with all these other universities to have our own gym and dorm. So, right now we're using, local gyms within the area, to host our games and everything. And athletes have to basically get an apartment, which we have partnerships with about 16 to 20 of them around the area, they're not far from the school, and they have to share, rent. And to be honest, it may be a lot, but I kind of like it that way because it gives the athletes a sense of, independence, a sense of
Mhm.
privacy. At the same time, it prepares you because once you leave college, you're going to have to pay bills, right? And of course, I would love to be able to house all of our athletes, but at the same time, I mean, it gives you this sense of integrity about yourself where you have to be on top of taking care of bills and paying rent and then buying your own food and etc. But in the near future, hopefully we get to that point where we're able to do things that these other universities are doing as well.
Okay. Okay. And you said you're going to be in NAI this year. So I'm assuming this year will be that exploratory year, correct?
Yeah, because we're going to be in the CalPEC, which is still tough,
Oh, yeah.
tough
Yeah.
NAIA conference, so we're going to be in there. But we've scheduled a couple preseason games, exhibition games against a couple Division I universities, and
Okay.
D2s and D3. So we're kind of testing the waters in all different levels. And we get the opportunity to do that. Not that many universities can say that they're doing that because most schools they just want to play against maybe one D2 or D1 and then their conference. And I'm not saying that to put us up, but I'm saying that because that's how competitive I firmly believe that we will be both on the men's and the women's side of basketball. As a coach, that's my mindset on how I want to do things. Right. I'm not going to back down from anybody or from any program. I want our athletes to experience playing against the best. In order to be the best, you have to beat the best. That's how I was raised and taught, especially coming from the love of sports that I have. And we're just growing, man. We're just growing, and we'll see how we do this year with it being our first year. And I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited, brother. I can't express how excited I am about this journey.
Okay. And so let me ask you this. What is the academic requirement to get accepted in Stanton University?
So, I mean, local, you can take I'm sorry, not local, but SAT, ACT, those type of things. But fairly much, we pretty much everybody can attend our university. It's not. I mean, you obviously need the 2.5 GPA to play academic, in sports athletically. But if you are an international student, I think it's 90 Duolingo, if I'm not mistaken. But besides that, you got to take your ACT, SAT, stuff like that to be able to get to university, like a normal university.
Okay. And I'm assuming you're probably going to be grabbing some of those Cali JUCO players too, right?
Oh yeah, man. I've been in contact with a lot of them, because
Mm,
it can get difficult in our situation, having athletes travel across the country, and you're not able to fully take care of everything, and that's what most athletes want. But I'm trying my best to keep them close, man. I don't want them going to those other schools out there, in those other cities, and trying to keep them close to home.
So, and I'm glad you touched on that. So, is there an out of state fee for out of state students? Because I know you mentioned it was 7,500. Is that
Mhm.
for just in state, or is there an extra fee for being an out of state student?
I think it's all in general, brother. I'm gonna be honest
Okay.
with you. It's 7,500 flat for anybody.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
And
you
now, as
can't beat.
far no, I love that. Now, as far as meal plans and stuff, are they on their own? Do they have meal plans on campus? How does that work?
So they're gonna be on their own with that,
Okay.
right? They're gonna be on their own with the meal plans. Again, it's 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 testing waters because this university hasn't been in this situation, right?
Okay.
So the university we're learning on the fly how to basically take care of student athletes. Now it's not to say that that's not something that could be done in the future, but in the present right now, for us right now, athletes have to split up rent with other athletes and have to basically pay for their own meal. But
Okay.
we give them the experience that they want to get at these other schools, man. Like, if it's let's say if it's more than a 2 to 5 hour drive, we fly. Like when we go play a game versus Division I opponent this year, we're gonna fly to that game, right? And then the university takes care of the flight, the hotel, the bus, and then we have also take care of the meal as well. So we still give them
Okay.
that experience of going like a Division I program or a D2 going outside of driving 10, 12 hours to a game, right? It
Absolutely.
has a lasting effect on people, whether people believe it or not.
Now, and let me ask this. So, will you be playing over the holidays? And because I know parents like to ask these questions as well. Will they go home for Thanksgiving or Christmas, or how does that work for you this year? Well, next season.
So I'm trying my best to avoid those, to give athletes the time to go home, but with the fact that, in the preseason, I mean, things could happen. Teams could say, hey, we can only play this time. This is when we're free, and you want to play these opponents. You want to give your players the opportunity. But, I mean, at the same time, we will try our best to accommodate the holidays for families because, we're talking about high school athletes leaving home and coming into college. We're talking about junior college, athletes as well, and potentially athletes from overseas, from different countries across the world that want to get home because you know how it is as as an athlete, you get homesick. Zoom can only do so much, a phone call can only do so much. Sometimes you need your peoples there. So, we understand that, and we're trying our very best to accommodate as best as we possibly can.
Okay. Now let's talk basketball a little bit. So, you're going into this Cal Pac conference, and man, for you people that don't know about that Cal Pac conference, it's one of the challenging conferences in the country for NAI. So for people that don't know, definitely look up that Cal Pac conference. What's your expectations going into that conference? Because that's no light task right there, jumping into that conference right away, man.
No, I agree. My biggest thing, brother, is I want to be competitive, man. Obviously you want to give yourself some type of grace, like, hey, you just started this. That's not my mindset, brother. Like I want to play the best. I'm recruiting the best, right? I've lost, young women, talented young women to Division I, to Division II, to the D3s and other NAIAs, and I'm okay with that, but I'm recruiting the best available players so we can be competitive, right? Because again, have a pretty tough preseason, and now you're going into the monster of the Cal Pac, right? I mean, it's not going to be no easy games, especially you being the first, this your first year. You're basically, you're the hunted. Everybody's like, oh, well, we'll see what they got. And the thing where I love it is we're not expected to be good because nobody knows what we have. Nobody knows who we have. Nobody knows the talent that we're bringing in. They don't know, the coaches. They don't know myself as a coach as well. So I mean, I'm really excited for the challenge. But again, man, I'm recruiting everybody, brother. Whether it's you a bounce back D1 or D2, it doesn't matter wherever you're from. I want you to come be a part of the first. And let me kind of touch on that is, one thing is I can always say for myself is I was the first of a lot of things in my family, right? I was the first to get a high school diploma. I was the first to, graduate. I was the first to play sports in college and, get a degree, and try to pursue professional, and then first to, coach at all these different levels, and first of a lot of things. But one thing about Stanton is this first group that comes in, this first class that comes in, you'll be the first to ever be at Stanton University. And I don't think people understand how much of a blessing that is, because people can't take that away from you. When they look up Stanton women's basketball, let's say if they have women's basketball for the next 60 years or 70 years or 100 or so years, you will forever remember as one of the first to do it at the university, right? You are forever remembered on how you represented the university, right? You get to write your own story. You get to write your own script on how you want things to pan out, So with that being said, it's just, even though this is a first year program, I feel like we're going to be prepared for any challenge, whatever the situation is, wherever we have to go play, whoever we have to play, we're going to be ready, man, because I don't back down from a challenge. I'm not afraid of it. I've been a person that's been looked down upon my whole life, and to get these opportunities that I've been given, and now to be able to give these young women this same opportunity to wake up, to know that, man, I got to play against a Division I girl today. Man, I got to play against this girl who was a who was a former 5-star, 4-star bounce back D1, and I'm matching up against her. As a competitor, that's what you want, because you get to see where you measure up against these top level athletes. And then you get to the Cal Pac. Oh man, we're playing teams and coaches, who's had success, coaches who's been to the Sweet 16 last year or Elite 8, and you get to compete against them now, right? So, it's just, It's exciting, man. I'm overjoyed about this, but, I'm just ready for it, brother. I'm just ready. I just can't wait to the first day till we get everybody into the, into the gym and just be able to compete.
So let me ask this. What's your practice schedule going to look like? Are you going to practice in the mornings, afternoons, evenings? What's going to be your plan for that?
So practice schedule, it will be practicing in the morning, and then athletes go to school after, and then obviously some athletes will have to go to work, and then we're gonna try our best to get some evening practices as well. But all our practices are gonna be in the morning time, and I mean I honestly like it better that way because you get to get up, you get to get after it, and then you get to go about your day, and then obviously you get to revisit as far as watching film and then recovery and etc. Many different things that we'll be offering at the school as well, not just the physical aspect of the sport, but also the mental aspect and working the body and etc.
Okay. Now, the other big thing is, you guys, starting early. Will you have your kids come into summer school in June, or will they come in August or September?
So August. So I want to get everybody out in August. Enjoy the summer. All the athletes I've been speaking to, all of them has been getting after it. They've been working the grind, man. Just putting the time in and trying to weigh out their options. I'm like, man, look, dude, get ready for it because when it's time to go, it's time to go. All right, I'll see you in August, but yeah, I want everybody to come in August, so we can get after it around that time. Enjoy the time with your family, work or whatever that you're doing to prepare yourself for the challenge that we have because it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge, man, because you get to see what you're made of in that, and honestly, in that first year. That first year doesn't tell you who you're going to be, but it kind of gives you a little, it's either you see a light of hope or you're like, man, you know what? Just gotta keep searching, keep pushing through it, and see what happens the next few years. And I got big aspirations for this year, especially with the talent that I've been contacting and been constant speaking with, and what we're trying to do. I got really high hopes for this program this year.
Okay. What type of style of play do you plan on playing at Stanton University?
Man, you want me to give up my secrets this early?
Not the secrets. This whether you're gonna be up tempo or you're gonna be a half court team. What you looking like?
We're gonna be a balanced attack. We're gonna be a balance. I mean, especially again going back to the young women I'm recruiting. We're gonna have speed. We're gonna have some size. And then again, you gotta have smart basketball players, right? So we're gonna have be up tempo, slow it down to half court. We're gonna do a little bit, but I can't give you too much because I don't know who's gonna be watching, man. Might have a coach from within our conference watching, and then I can't. They're gonna be like, I see what he's doing. So I gotta just leave you with that right there.
Got you. So in regards to like study hall and stuff like that, is that going to be sprinkled in the evening or right at how do you plan to set up your study hall table and stuff like that?
I plan on springing that in honestly, like after school sometime, man. Like my main thing is I want to make sure that that all these recruits understand something. I'm not just invested into you as a basketball player. I know what you can do as a basketball player. I see the film, whether it's your highlight or you're sending me game film. I've watched it. I've put the time. I know what you're capable of. I'll contact your coaches. I've seen the stats and everything, so I know what you're capable of. I care more so about you as a person, as an individual, right? I'm trying to prepare you for a life outside of basketball, right? So study time, my study hall, making sure that all of our athletes is big on their grades. I'm huge on grades. I want to have I'm so competitive where I want our women's program to have the highest GPA in the whole school. I want to beat out men's soccer, women's soccer, everybody, right? I want at the end, when we're graduating, they're like, this young lady, has this GPA, and we all, we have the highest GPA in the program. That's how big I am on athletics because, in the time and the age that we're in right now, you have to understand that if you don't have like your own business, or you're fathered into some type of business where you're helping somebody, or mainly if you don't have something with your name attached to it as far as a piece of paper that's credited, it's going to be hard for you to be successful in life, right? I mean, just a quick story. I got somebody I know that's close to me that he received his associates, his bachelor's, his master's, and it was still tough for him to get a job because they were telling him he's overqualified. So now he's finishing up to get his PhD, and now he's just set up his career path, right? So it also depends on where you are, but at the same time, you need something to back you up, that to show, your integrity, your hard work, your dedication to the time that you're able to put in to that. So I'm big on grades. I'm big on, make sure our athletes are successful, not just on the court, but also off the court as well, because the student aspect is more important to me than the basketball aspect, because I know what you're capable of. I'm going to help you get to the next level where you want to be as far as your game. But, as far as a human being, the student, that's big for me. I'm really big on that.
Okay. Now, with you being that first year, program and just learning more about Stanton University, do you have any graduate level courses that, let's say a grad transfer want to come in, or you can't take grad transfers?
No, we take grad transfers. We got master's programs and stuff like that at the university.
Okay.
Yeah, we take grad transfers.
Okay. That's good. That's definitely good to know. So you can take grad transfers. Of course, you'll be in that portal. Of course, you'll be looking at some of the JUCOs, even outside of Cali JUCOs as well, the Arizona JUCOs and some of those other NJCAA JUCOs as well. As a matter of fact, there are tournaments going on as we speak. I was watching on ESPN Plus a little bit this afternoon.
Yeah, I've been keeping a close eye on it, man. I mean, brother, women's basketball should have had this respect long ago. But I mean, in the time that we're in right now, I mean, every young girl is playing basketball, and these girls are talented, man. Women's basketball they're just gonna keep going up higher and higher from here, man. And they're, each program, I mean, you can see that they're saying that the women's side of the tournament is paid more attention to than the men's side, and it's because it's exciting. These women out here, these young girls, they can hoop. They can hoop, man. So I mean, I'm in the transfer portal, high schools, local high schools. You could be in Florida, Texas, New York, Maine, wherever, Rhode Island. I've contacted, players from all over, because I'm trying to get talent into our university, man. I'm trying to build a powerhouse. I'm trying to build something at Stanton University that's going to last beyond me.
I like that. That sounds good. One of the other big things I always like to talk about as well, and you seem like one of the good guys. When this is over, will you offer, like, say you have a young lady that wants to get into coaching, would they be able to come on as a grad assistant and coach, or would that be a possibility?
Most definitely, man. My biggest thing about me is, when you grow up and you basically have to literally, and a lot of people has done this. I don't just want to make it seem like I'm the only one, but my whole life I've had to work for everything that I wanted, right? Whether it's, growing up playing sports, coming from a background where we wasn't the most wealthiest, we didn't have everything that we wanted. I had my family situations where my father is in a different country, and my stepfather raised me, which he did a great job being there in my family. So, and then waking up, having to do things and not knowing about certain things. And as far as sports in high school, I was never one to play AAU or, play Pee Wee football, because we didn't have the funds for it. So I had to work for everything in my life. If you want an opportunity, I'm going to give you an opportunity, right? Because I know what it was like for me, right? I coached for the last 10, 11 years. I've been coaching for an AAU program in the town that I'm in since I've been here. They gave me an opportunity to coach, right? Shout out to Coach Dirk Lacey and Coach Marcus Hopkins and Brett Cornell here in Chico. They gave me an opportunity to coach, display, what I could do as a coach and as far as pouring into people. I'm big on that. They gave me the opportunity, which opened doors for me to be able to coach at the school level and at the high school level. And now I have an opportunity to coach in the collegiate level. I owe it all to them for what I've learned. But the main thing is they gave me an opportunity, right? And I've always been where I want to give you an opportunity. I want to help you, right? I don't want to see you fail, right? I don't want to make it and then try to stretch my hand out and try to help you. No, hey, come on this journey with me. Let's rise together. However I can help you, whether it's resources, internships, and if you want to coach, whatever it is, or however I can, make things to where is, let's say, hey, you want to coach, come coach with me. You say, hey, coach, my dream and aspiration is to coach at the professional level. Okay, well, I can get in contact with some people who's at that level and see if they can talk to you about what they had to do, how they got there, right? And just use all the different resources and connections I built with people that coach at the, NBA, WNBA level or the Division I level down to JC, So I'm always out to help people. I'm every single time, and I don't take credit for it. I don't want nothing in return because I want you to venture on. I don't want to see nobody fail, man. I don't want to see nobody fail. I want to see you succeed. And success to me isn't always just winning basketball games. Success to me is, especially in the situation I was in for the past 3 years, is hearing, seeing all my high school players graduate high school, right? Seeing them become something, seeing them get out into workforce, seeing them take my advice that I've been giving them for the last 3 years. And they call me, they're like, man, coach, I wasn't listening then. It didn't make sense then, but all the majority of things that you said now, it kept me out of a lot of situations that I had no business getting myself into, right? So that leaving that lasting impact, building those type of relationships with people, that's most important to me. That's what I'm big on. So, being able to help somebody that wants to coach, come. Hey, let's do it, right? Let's do it. I'm looking for an assistant coach. I'm looking for another assistant coach on my staff, So if you're an assistant, if you're a coach, an aspiring coach, a coach to have some pretty good experience, and you want to help coach at Stanton University, man, shoot me a text or an email, right? Or get in contact with me on social media, and let's make it happen. Because
how can they reach you on the social media?
So you could always reach me out you could always reach out to me on Twitter. You could always reach out to me on Instagram. See, now you done put me on the spot. Now I gotta look up what my thing is.
People are listening, so I gotta ask.
So on my Instagram, you can reach out to me at BTA2, the number 2 Elite, and that's BTA2 Elite. And then on my Twitter, you can reach out to me at Coach Jerome, the number 3.
Okay. And you touched something that I wanted to touch on as well. Since you have that grassroots experience, will you be out on the grassroots circuit for live periods coming up in April and May?
Oh, most definitely, man. I'm gonna make it up and down the West Coast as much as I possibly can, because again, I mean, there's so much great talent in women's basketball, man. I would be foolish to sit here and think that I could just make this happen by just sitting here, being behind a computer screen or a phone and not showing my face. Like my alma mater here, Butte College. Our women's basketball program had a phenomenal year, and Tyler Newton up here at Butte College has been doing a great job here. They've had great success. They reached the Final Four this year. I've been to a couple games to show face, and I'm recruiting a couple girls from Butte College because I want to see them, right? I want them to see me as well. Just to let you know, hey, you got my attention. You probably got other coaches' attention, but you got mine, and I'm here. So I'll be going up and down, the West Coast, out to Las Vegas, to the Big Four tournaments and stuff like that, potentially out to Oregon as well. So I'll be making my way, around as much as I possibly can.
Okay. Now, like I said, you looked at this as, being a first-year program, but you don't look at it that way because you're trying to win right now, of course. Now, as you start to get closer and all this starts to become reality, as we say, what's the biggest thing you want to concentrate on right away? I mean, of course, winning will take care of itself in time, but, this is going to be a tall task for you, man. Being a first-year program, there's going to be a lot of administrative work. There's going to be a lot. So what are you looking for as a coach to say, okay, I'm going to divvy this off to some of my staff because I trust them, because you can't be successful without a good staff. How are you looking to make this a successful journey in that first year with your staff?
That's a great question. The main thing with me, man, is asking as much questions as I possibly can. Our men's coach she just recently was assistant coach at University of Washington, at LMU, Miss Tamara McDonald, and just asking questions and making sure that I'm able to, reach all the other people that, has made an impact and influence on my life as far as being a coach. And, I understand, things are going to happen, God forbid, where I won't have the success that I want to, what I aspire to have. You're going to win games, you're going to lose games, and whatever. My main thing is, brother, I just want to be competitive. If my program is competitive to where people respect our program, our university, they respect the girls that's before them, I've done my job. The wins will take care of itself, right? So I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that we are one of the most competitive groups that play against whoever we're playing against, right? That's just my main thing, and not being blind to the fact that this is our first time coming into this. This is a new thing for our university. Like I mentioned before, we're scheduling the game against a program where a coach has been at that program for 11 years, and in 11 years he's lost 53 games. So he's built a powerhouse. So understanding that, hey, we're going against these tough opponents, but making sure I keep my players level-headed, even keel, making sure we stay focused on the mission, spend as much time as I possibly can on just growing them and grooming them and getting them ready for this journey. It's going to be a journey, man. It's going to be a roller coaster. Emotions going to get involved. Some people are going to be upset about how things are. Some people are going to be happy. I mean, it's going to be a lot, and I completely understand it. And I'm just ready for it. But making sure that when everybody else is hot, that I stay cool. And when I'm cool, that when I'm hot, my players and my staff is able to keep me cool, right? Because I'm not one to sit here and act like I know it all, because I don't. But I will always ask questions. I'm one to always ask questions. I don't care if I'm coaching against you. I don't care what it is, but I mean, I'll even go to coaches after games, after them, winning or losing the game. Like, hey, coach, man, how have you had success? What have you done? What's been your niche that you've been able to focus on? What have you done to help improve your program yearly? That's the type of person I am. I want to absorb as much information as I possibly can. So, again, I'm not too much worried about just my own emotional feeling about it of oh man, you coming in here, you want to win every single game, but I'm not. That's not my focus, man. I'm focused on being competitive, making sure that the talent that we have, the young women that we have, they're respected as young women first and foremost. Because I don't really, it's not more so just about what I want from you as a basketball player. It's what I want to invest into you and help you mature and get better as a human being at the end of the day, and making sure that they know that I got their back. I support them. I'm with them. I'm going to push them. We're going to do everything we can to make sure that we're able to, come out victorious. I mean, I look at success as one, if I'm able to go through a game and, we lose a close game, but all of my players are healthy, that's a win for me. Right, where all my players are healthy, you get to play another day. Right, if all of my players' grades is on top of, I don't have no grades issues, that's a win for me. Right, and if you get to the point where as a coach you tend to see it. Right, one thing a coach told one coach that I respect so much, he's been doing it for a long time up in New York. He told me, man, if you can get a team to basically run through a brick wall for you, you got that team. That they with you. Right, so that's the main thing is getting the players to that mindset, the fact that they'll know that I'm willing to do anything for them, that they're willing to do everything for the program. Because at the end of the day, it's not about me. I always feel like the players make the program. As coaches, we just get the opportunity to coach, to be a lasting impact on these, young athletes. But at the end of the day, it's the players that make the program. It's the players that wins the game, the players that practice. It's the players that does everything that needs to be done. Us as coaches, all we got to do is just guide them. We just get to help them and nurture them and groom them and mature them and prepare them for life and also for what's going to happen within those 4 lines. So that's my focus, and that's what I'm going to rock with. And I think we'll be pretty fine.
Okay, and I wanted to run something by you as well because one of the listeners, a man, really good friend of the show. I wanted to kind of drop a nugget on you, and because I'm sure you weren't. I won't assume that. Let me just say this. What is your take on taking military prospects?
I have no issues with it.
Okay. And the reason I say that is because, one of the good friends that watches the show, and listen, I'll say this as well. I wasn't privy to the military having college prospects. So, and I say this because as they begin to branch off as well, and it's just another avenue for you as well. That's why
That's
I
right.
use this platform to connect. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they have women prospects that play basketball as well as men's prospects, which
Mm-hmm.
would be a good thing for you, is because most of these military, well, not most, all of them are on the GI Bill if they come to you.
Yeah.
So that means, it's paid for on top of, whatever you would offer. So your situation will be a lot easier for these military prospects. Would you be open to that?
Yes, sir. Most definitely. Whoever
Okay.
wants, whoever wants to come to Stanton, who wants to be a pillar, who wants to represent the community, who also wants to basically, invest in themselves as a person. Because for me, I mean, you're gonna get this fun, energetic, goofy coach, but when it's time to, lock in into the game and preparation, everything, I'm a student of the game, and I want to make sure that my team is ready. But you're gonna get that from me. I'm not gonna push you away because you're doing something. No, if you want to come, you want to represent the community, you want to represent Anaheim, California, you want to represent Stanton University, come talk to me. Let's make this happen, right? If you want to be a part of history, let's make this happen, right? You get the opportunity to be a part of history, right? You get to be the first. And I won't be saying that for long, because obviously next year is going to come where, God willing, this is my second stint and etc. But you get to be part of the first, right? We all get to be part of this ride together. And if you love the game of basketball, if you love community, if you love people, if you love to grow, if you want to be a better person, because I mean, we offer such a great education at Stanton University, man. It's wonderful. Like for some people that may not know, we're WIC SAC accredited, right? And based off of my information that I've been told, let's say if a high school student come to our university, right, and 2 years they played for me and they've had success, and they said, Coach, I want to move on to another school, or let's say a 4 year at a Division I level or Division II is like, hey, I love this athlete, I love what they bring to the table, I want to offer this athlete a full ride and etc. If you transfer to another WIC SAC accredited program, you basically get to continue going to school. Because for most people, if you transfer from another university, a school's gonna be like, hey, if you take in 80 units, we can only take 20 of them. So you gotta take another extra. With our school, you're gonna be taking classes that you need towards whatever you're majoring in. So if you transfer, you get to continue going to school. You don't have to basically start all over or take a couple more years and etc. If that makes sense, right?
Yes.
So at coming to Stanton, you'll be taking the classes based off of what you're majoring in, right? You won't get all these weird classes of stuff that won't even, do have any effect on you on your life, or it was just an easy grade. No, it's still a tough school. We graduate at a very very good rate. We have, like I said, we're just a lot of international students come to this university, man, because it's affordable school. It's high level education, and now we're offering athletics on top of that. And on top of that, we don't know how long it's going to be this way, right? The enrollment could get so high to the point where it goes from 75 up to, I don't know, maybe $20,000 a year, because obviously the school is being built and more money's coming into the university. So I mean, if I were you, I would jump to this opportunity now than to wait later.
So, and I'm glad you just touched on that, because the next thing that, I wanted the listeners to get to understand on Stanton University, what type of degrees do they have to offer there at Stanton? And you
So
don't
they
have to name all of them, just some of the ones they might be most well known for.
Well, obviously culinary, because it's a culinary school, but business, sports management, kinesiology, business administration are one of the main ones that is that we're known for, as you could
Okay.
say. And there's a couple more. We currently don't offer criminal justice or psychology or nursing, stuff like that. But we offer a couple major ones, and the major ones are business and kinesiology type of area type of with our school.
Okay. And, I can't let you go without asking this as well. I know you're big on your kids succeeding. And, it's not, to me, it's always bigger than basketball when I say this. You know,
Hmm.
does Stanton have it set up to where, when these guys get to their junior or senior year, do they have possible internships?
We set those up. We help everybody as best as we can to get those, especially in what you're trying to do. We do everything we can to set up those for our students and student athletes so they can have success upon leaving our university. Because at the end of the day, that's what we want. That's what we care about. We care about your success after. We care about your success, of course, while attending Stanton, but we want to make sure you have a successful career and the career path that you're choosing, right? And some that you're doing something that you love, right? We want to make sure that this is something that you enjoy, this is something that you want to do, because I mean we've all had jobs where we're just like, oh, okay, I'm a year of excitement of doing this job. Okay, now it's time for something else, right? But once we make sure that, I mean, hey, if you're saying, hey, I want to, I'm majoring in business, okay, we'll set up some business interns. I mean, hey, I have several of my own businesses that I would love to have some interns, if they want to, learn about the ins and outs of business. There's other ways, there's other businesses out there, many, especially, I mean, again, with Irvine being right down there. I mean, Irvine, for those who know about Irvine, California, there's a multitude of jobs in Irvine. So, to set, students up with that opportunity to be able to get an internship and also, or give them just resources to set up and things like that. That's something that we're big on as well.
Okay. And one of as we get towards the end of this, um, summer school, do they have the option to go to summer school and take online classes as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now with that, like you said, being 7,500 for the year, I'm assuming summer school is differently packaged, correct or not?
Yes, I would say it is. I don't want
Okay.
to say that it is or it isn't. I'm just going off of belief. That's actually a subject that I haven't really touched with my AD, but I most certainly would say, I know we do offer summer school, and I definitely would say that it's something that you'd have to pay. Like if you want to take a class online or something, that's something that you would have to pay, out of pocket more so to be able to cover.
Okay. Now, and one of the most important questions as we keep going as well,
Mhm.
is there athletic scholarships involved, or is this a 50-50? Is it fully funded, or is it partial scholarship, partial academic, or are you relying on partially some of these kids being full Pell kids, or is
Mhm.
it, hey, you may have to come out of your pocket? Let's expand on that because I want the audience to understand what they're getting into.
Thank you for asking that. So, with Stanton University, we offer partial scholarships where it's mainly going towards tuition, right? It
Okay.
doesn't more so go towards housing, or food. It mainly goes towards the tuition.
Okay.
Now, do we have the option to, if we so to choose to, if we want to offer an athlete a full, you would say, scholarship to cover that? Yes. We also give 50%, 25, 75, and etc. But it more so
Mhm.
covers that. With the fact that our school's tuition is so cheap, we don't offer financial aid, right? So we don't offer financial aid to be able to help, students to be able to come to school because the majority of our student athletes or students are able to, if you receive a scholarship, they can pay it, or if you're international, they can, most of the times cover it. We also don't allow students to. We don't have a loan system in place because, and I appreciate that so much because basically we want our students to succeed outside of college. And we all
Okay.
know you take out these loans, these student loans, yes, it's free money from the government, but it also hurts you in your credit and it hurts you in the long run, right? So we don't offer loans, or any, and that stuff isn't in place yet. And again, I'm only mentioning this because there's still a possibility that in the future financial aid could come about, and loans could come about. But for right now, the school doesn't offer it. Like I said, because our tuition is so cheap and so low, and it's basically it's affordable college, for a lot of people.
So okay, and let me ask this because this leads into that next question. So
Mhm.
with that being said, are there opportunities to work on campus per se?
So we are exploring that. We are definitely exploring that, but to see if there's an opportunity for that. But what I can say is, let's say if I have a basketball athlete, and let's say there's a soccer game, right? For I say our university, there's potentially opportunity to whereas you could go work and to be paid, for working the game, right? And then what I envision on doing is making sure that I'm able to set up athletes, especially if we have international athletes, to potentially be able to go in the community and be able to not play, I'm sorry, but to be able to work the clocks or stuff in these local high school and middle school games and potentially be paid that way, right? So that's something that we're exploring. I don't want to say yes and then people find out that it's a no, and I don't want to say no and it's actually a yes, but I know it's something that we are exploring, so I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. And one of the final questions that I look at as well, as I'm listening to what you're saying as well. So the tuition is 7,500. The apartment is totally on the person that you have these partnerships, right, with these apartments, right? And
Yes.
and it's 7,500 in state and out of state. Is that correct?
7,500 for everybody.
Okay, and 7,500 for everybody. Um, I want to make sure I'm not just I want to make sure that you say this again, because whether people logged off or logged on, how can they reach you on social media? Because that's going to be important. They'll always rewind this to see how they can contact you, because I'm sure they'll have questions.
So you can always reach out to me on Twitter, or it's now called X, at Coach Jerome 3. And then you could always reach out to me on Instagram at BTA, the number 2 elite. And you can reach me by email at sjerome, Jerome, at stanton.edu. So you can always reach out to me. I'm always available, for those that want to have questions. And if I can't answer those questions, my athletic director is more than happy to help to answer questions that need to be answered, to make sure that we make sure everybody understands what we bring to the table. One thing is, I don't ever want to say something that it isn't, and then have you come to our school and then you like, Coach, you said this, that, and the third. I'm not one of those coaches, right? I'm not one of those that's just trying to get players just to come. That's not who I am. I want to make sure that everything is out in front. You know who we are. You know what we bring to the table. You know what we expect. Our basically the culture that we're trying to build and what we're trying to do at Stanton, and then you can base that upon your decision on what you want to do, right? So that's just, I just want to make sure that everybody knows that. Like I said, I'm always available. Please reach out to me. Coaches ask me all the time, what positions are you looking for? I'm looking for all positions. Again, doesn't matter if you're in the States, it doesn't matter if you're in a different state, it doesn't matter if you're outside of the country. Just reach out to me. I'm always available. I'm always recruiting. I'm always looking for the best available players to help us build this thing and to help us be, what I want to be in the near future and also right now.
Oh, one other question as well. Are your games a live stream? That's a big one.
All of our games are live streamed. Everything is going to be live streamed, especially all of our home games and even our away games. There's going to be a way to get up on our website, to be able to access it online, and then for
on
those
the CalPAC website, right?
On the CalPAC website, or even on our own website,
Okay.
They can also access it, and everything. And we make it affordable for everybody. Even our games at home, we make it affordable for everybody. We want the city of Anaheim and people to be able to come support us, as we build on what we're building on in the university as well. So yeah, there's plenty of way to access our games as well for those, especially, with having so many international students and, students that's out of state, you families from back home and different places want to be able to watch their athlete play. So we do offer that. We do have that as well.
Okay. And listen, man, I appreciate you so much for coming on and, introducing yourself to this platform in Stanton University. So people, my biggest thing is, sure, I have coaches come on that are Division I coaches, that are Division II coaches, Division III, NAI and JUCO coaches. My biggest thing for this platform is giving the opportunity more than anything, because everybody's not D1, as you know, everybody's not D2. And the
Yeah.
biggest thing is finding your fit. And if your fit is at Stanton University, then it's a win, in my opinion. It's a win. It's about getting that degree and moving on and being successful in life. And man, I always look at it like this. Once you come on this show, you family. So you'll be welcome on the show anytime, brother. Definitely.
Man, I appreciate it. And I just want to also touch on what you just said is the fact that everybody's not D1 to D2. Basketball is basketball, man. Yes, everybody wants a full ride. Yes, everybody wants to go D1 to D2, of course, but don't disrespect D3, NAIA or JUCO ball or USCAA or NCCA. Don't disrespect those other divisions as well, man. There's high level basketball being played, in those other leagues as well, and whether you're like, well, I can only go, play professional sports if I go D1 to D2. That is firmly far from true,
not true.
right? If you are that player that you say you are, those set of eyes are going to be on you, and they going to come get you, right? If they want you, they're going to come get you, and it's the coach's job to make sure that he's able to put you out there in front of these, these eyes so people can give you the opportunity. But look, man, basketball is basketball no matter what level you're at, right? No matter what level you're at. So, I just hope people would be open-minded to it. It doesn't matter if you don't even come to Stanton, wherever you go. If you have a NAIA school or a D3 school or wherever, the opportunity is an opportunity, right? There's only not everybody that you grew up with or know played high school sports, right? And not everybody that played in college, right? It's a small percentage of people. And for you athletes that get the opportunity to even get a college coach, to even get to look at you and get in contact with you, man, pick up the phone, right? Respond to emails, respond to tweets, right? Don't think that you're bigger than the opportunity, right? Because when those other opportunities fade away, you're going to try to circle back and try to see what other options that you had, and that opportunity is going to be gone. It might be too late. Somebody else might take advantage of it, right?
Be humble. And as you're saying, be humble, because you'll never forget that they picked up the phone day one. So if they did circle back, as we say in the business, they didn't big time you. You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah, and just hear coaches out, see what they have to offer, and it might be your fit, right? It might be what's best for you. It might be what's best for your family, in the circumstance. And I know for us, man, we want if this is something that you want, we want you, right? No matter what your plans are, if you're like, man, you want to come for 2 years and go big time, hey, well, let's get you prepared for that, right? I'm not going to take an opportunity away from you because I understand the situation. But if you want to come and play high level basketball against high level competition, get a great education, get somebody that's invested into you as a person. And what I mean by that is it's not about what have you done for me or what could you do for me. It's about who you are. And then, we'll work on basketball because at the end of the day, basketball is just something that you love to do. Basketball is not who you are, right? Being a coach doesn't define who I am. I am Steven Jerome first before I'm Coach Jerome, right? So, if this is something that you want, you think you can be a part of, that you want to be a part of the Stanton family, get in contact with me. Let's make this happen. And, brother, I just appreciate you, man, just for giving me this platform, this opportunity to speak my piece, to be genuine, to be honest, and, to be able to hopefully touch some lives that want an opportunity to play, college sports. And again, I think what you're doing is amazing, and I appreciate you, and I wish more success for you. And yes, we definitely gonna be talking soon.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you as well, man. I mean, you did a great job tonight, man. And I think sky's the limit for what you're trying to build out there. And you got a supporter here in Atlanta, man. And I'm sure there'll be more people that are listening to the show that'll inquire about it, man. A good amount. Just checking the views. There's a good amount of people out there watching this, so I'm sure some people will probably be reaching out, trying to get a hold of you to see, what Stanton brings to the table, man.
Yes, sir. We ready for it, man. So again, this was awesome. This was awesome.
Much appreciated. Man, yeah, anytime. And like I said, this won't be your last time on the show because in a couple months or a year, I want to follow up and see how the season's going. What were the pros, the highs, the lows? How's the CalPAC conference compared to the USCAA? Because I'm familiar with the USCAA as well, because I've had a couple of those coaches come on from the apprentice school. That's a good friend of mine as well. So,
Yep.
I'm familiar with all levels of basketball, and I bring them all on the show as well. So, like I said, I look forward to bringing you back on the show. And, man, we're going to keep this thing going to keep promoting Stanton University, the Calpac, Cali JUCO, oh my gosh. And let's not forget that D2, that CCCAA. Oh, my goodness. They got some monsters in that one, man.
Oh, man. Like I said, it's, my alma mater, Butte College, they went in there, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Orange Coast, I believe it was, that won the whole thing. They played against Glendale in the state tournament, and yeah, those, man, even on the men's side, it was crazy. Like these hoopers, man, they coming out the woodworks, and it's just fun to watch. It's fun to watch people want to play the game and enjoy the game. It's not a chore. It's something that you just want to do. So I love seeing it, man. I love seeing it.
Absolutely. Hey, man, listen, like I said, I definitely appreciate you, man, coming on the show and, just speaking your piece about your program and your passion about it. And I'm sure some people will at the very least want to see what's going on at Stanton University. And that's all you can ask from there. You speak your piece. If they sign or they say, Coach, I want to go somewhere else, at least now they know about Stanton University. And sometimes it's the coaches that want to reach out, the AAU coaches, the grassroots ones, the high schools, the JUCOs. And I think those are the ones that are definitely going to reach out to you, especially those JUCOs from the NJCAA as well, outside of Cali as well, because they're like, hey, tell me some more about the Stanton University. And I look at this as a win, man. So, you got your chance to come on and, talk about your program. And I think from now it's sky's the limit as you continue to build it. All right.
Most definitely. And one thing I just want to add, I'm open to, JUCO players, class of 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. It doesn't matter, right? I'm trying to build this thing. Hey, get in contact with me, coaches, players. Let's make it happen. I'm trying to build this thing, man. So, years moving forward, because I think the future is so bright with women's basketball, and I want to be able just to continue to pour in and invest into young ladies and to help them live out their dreams. Some people's dream is to play college basketball, and that could be it, right? So to get that opportunity, man, I want to be able to give it to people, man. Those that fit what we want and what we want to do and who we expect. That's what we're here for. So, coaches, get in contact with me. Don't be shy. But again, brother, thank you so much for the time, man. Thank you. I appreciate
it. Anytime. And listen, man, like I said, this won't be the last time on the show. So be expecting to hear from me, whether it's through Twitter, through text. We'll be talking real soon, brother. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. You take care, okay?
All right. You too.
All right. Listen, that was Coach Jerome. For you people that don't understand, you can see the passion in him being a first-year coach, and you see he got this out of the mud, coming from the grassroots to getting the collegiate shot. That's a blessing in itself right there. So you people understand he's going to be there to work. He's going to do everything he can to put Stanton University on the map. If you want to get to know him, please reach out to him. Like I said, it's about fit. It's not about D1, D2, D3, NAI. It's about what's the best fit for you academically as well as athletically. That's going to do it for tonight. And I want to thank you all for watching the show and joining us as usual. I know I've been on the road. I've been blessed to have this broadcast career take off. So I've been broadcasting a lot of high school and college games, as well as covering some of the media games for the NCAA tournament as well. So I hadn't been on in a while, but as the season starts to wind down some more, you'll see me a lot more on the show, bringing some of the coaches on, because now they have time with the season winding down and the grassroots season getting ready to kick off. They'll want to talk about their program as they're coming out to get to some of these big tournaments. I also want to let people know I also will be at the Western PA Bruins tip-off in Pittsburgh, PA next month, as well as I'll be in Dallas at the Heart of Texas as well in Dallas. So those are the two I'll be at. As I get into May, I'll let you know where I'll be at in May, June, and July as well. I know for a fact I'll be at some of the Adidas and EYBL events, as well as some of the independent events all over the country. So that'll do it for tonight. Man, thank you all for Another big episode number 78. Boy, 22 more, we'll be at 100. But, for you guys that have been with me for 4 years from now, if you just started, still, thank you very much. We're continuing to build this platform. We got a lot of things coming up in the future. We'll talk about that on some later podcasts as well. But I will see you next Monday because we'll have another show next Monday as well. Until then, good night. Everybody have a good day. Thank you.